Hey guys, it's Melanie. Happy Sunday. Welcome back to a Bath and Body Works classic throwback re-review. I forgot what I'm calling this series, but basically I have purchased just this year a lot of the classics that have been around at Bath and Body Works for a number of years that I have personally loved. And I have been basically just re-reviewing the candles and chatting a little bit about whether I think the formulation has changed, as in like scent notes, how the burn is compared to how it used to be, just kind of, do I still love the candle? What are my overall thoughts? So today we're talking about Marshmallow Fireside, which I think is truly a classic from Bath and Body Works. It is something that I have repurchased multiple times over the year. This particular scent captured my heart from the very beginning because, as you guys probably know if you watch my videos on any kind of regular basis, I am a lover of gourmand scents. I like my house to smell like food. I want it to smell like I have been baking all day, because I don't actually bake at all. So I like to fake that, and a lot of my candles help me do that. So Marshmallow Fireside is a candle that I love during the fall, the holidays, and the winter time. So this is a good chunk of the year candle for me. I really like the combination of that sweet roasted marshmallow note and that slightly like burnt wood note that you also get in this particular scent. I think it's such an interesting, unique combination. And I think it's delicious. I think it's a really great candle. So I picked up this year's version in this particular packaging because this was the packaging that actually appealed to me the most. So it has this like textured wraparound label that is gold and kind of like a creamy white. Like the gold looks like it's stippled onto the white. I like the simple like font that they used for the Marshmallow Fireside portion, like that that cursive writing, and then just the little like flourish accents I think are just very sweet, very classic, kind of elegant. So the packaging on this one, definitely a big winner for me. I actually picked up a few of these several weeks ago, and I want to have this on hand for throughout the holidays. So I've been burning this particular one for a few burns now. I think this is actually my fourth burn. I have only been leaving my Bath and Body Works candles lit for about 2.5, tops 3 hours, because I have really found that when I am leaving these newer candles burning longer, I'm experiencing a lot more sooting, and they just don't burn as well. I'm curious if you guys have found that to be the case. I used to burn, like, I'm talking back in like 2010, 11, and 12. Like, I would burn my Bath and Body Works candles for hours at a time, like hours. And I never really felt like they sooted a whole lot. There was definitely some sooting, but it wasn't like awful. And I felt like the burn was much longer back then on a lot of my candles. They're very different now in terms of the burn, I will say. That is the one thing that I have noticed with all of these new versions of the classics that I have purchased, is that, you know, sometimes at the halfway point, they kind of start to futz out a little bit. Like, I don't get as much throw or strength from them, or they start sooting really bad. And I'm still ending up relegating a lot of my Bath and Body Works candles to my candle crock. By the way, if you have not heard yet, my beloved candle crock, the teal one that I always have in the background of my videos when I film upstairs, that one is in stock. Again, I will link it down below. It's beautiful. I've had mine for several years. I actually have two of the same one. It works incredibly well with Bath and Body Works candles. They do fit in there perfectly, and whenever any of my candles futz out, I stick them in there, and You know, you obviously don't light the candle when you have it in the crock. The point is to begin melting it at that point, and you're not ever going to relight that candle. Please don't relight a candle that you have put in a candle crock. That's incredibly unsafe. The heat from the crock actually melts the glue that the wicks are attached to the bottom of the jar with, and the wicks travel all over. And if you light that wick again, it could be too close to the edge. It will potentially cause your candle to the glass to crack, and then you're going to have not only a huge mess on your hands, but a massive potential fire hazard. So please don't do that. I'm planning on redoing my Candle Crock 101 video. That's a video that I did years ago, talking about the candle crock and how to use it and all that stuff. I'm going to redo that video. But anyway, so the moral of that whole side story was, I'm still relegating a lot of my Bath & Body Works candles to the candle crock. This one, I feel like I'm going to get beyond the halfway point with, and it should be fine because I've actually already burned one Marshmallow Fireside this year. Not from this collection, but another one. And it's just, I feel like this one's doing better than that other one. So, I really like this scent, you guys. So let's talk about the scent notes. Toasted marshmallow, smoldering woods, fire roasted vanilla, and crystallized amber. So those are the notes. Truly, I don't really feel like this particular scent has changed a whole lot over the years. There were a couple years where it smelled like, I don't even think it was a couple, I think it was just 1 year where I picked it up and I was like, there's a weird cologne note to this. But that didn't go over well. So I feel like that was removed the next year and it was like the same Marshmallow Fireside again. Some years it does smell a little bit more smoky. Some years potentially a little bit sweeter, heavier on like that marshmallow vanilla note. But for the most part, it's what I would say this is kind of a generic scent at this point for Bath & Body Works. Not in a bad way, but just, you know, like, we kind of know what to expect from it. There are small deviations, but if someone were to stick this under your nose and it was slightly different from last year's version, you would still be like, oh, that's Marshmallow Fireside, you know? So for the most part, the little tweaks that they've made, while not ideal in some cases, it still allows you to experience the same scent, essentially, for the most part, with very minor deviations. This one here smells like the old school original, where it was heavier on that vanilla marshmallow note with just a hint of like the smoldering woods in the background. And I like this particular combination where it is more roasted marshmallow versus like 50-50, if that makes sense. I don't think it would be as appealing to me if it was just roasted marshmallow, to be totally honest. That smoldering woods and that tiny hint of amber, because you can get that amber if you really stick your nose in it. I feel like that's necessary to sort of round this out and make it slightly more sophisticated and not just like a Stay Puft marshmallow, you know, that you stuck it under the fire for a little bit too long. I do think it helps to add just a little bit of a nuance and makes it a little bit fancier, I guess you could say. But overall, I love this scent, you guys. The throw of this particular one is probably about a 7. It certainly fills a space very nicely. The strength is probably right around a 7 as well. You certainly smell this when you walk into the room. And it does float around the vast majority of the downstairs of my house when I have it lit here in this, I call this my fancy lady living room. So, you know, it does travel really nicely. I don't know that I would want it to be a whole lot stronger or have a ton more throw. I think it's good. I feel like it might get into the cloying territory if it was a whole lot stronger, if you know what I mean. Sweet scents are tough because you want to smell them. You want them to be noticed, but you also don't want them to be too much because you are going to go into that territory of like, you know, like it's just too much and possibly headache inducing. So, yeah. Anyway, those are my thoughts. I really like this one. I hope that they never get rid of it. I don't imagine that they will. Like I said, it's been around for a number of years, and it is delicious. It is a foodie scent. It also blends really nicely with a lot of other scents. Let me just say that. I am going to be decorating for the holidays this weekend. You guys are going to be seeing this video on Sunday, and I will be in the throes of switching everything over in my house from fall to holiday. I know that drives some of you crazy, but I have my reasons for doing it, especially this year. I'm going to be very busy with holiday work for my floral company, so I'm not going to have a whole lot of time in the latter part of November to decorate, to be totally honest, and we're going on a trip for a week, so I just want the decorating done, and this is going to pair really nicely with a lot of the candles that I'm going to be getting out for the holiday time. This goes really nicely with my Nest holiday candle. I haven't tried it with the spiced orange and clove, but I feel like the combination of the two is just, I feel like it's just going to be very festive. A lot of my homework scents, I burned this last year with Season's Greetings, and that was a really nice combination. I also, the Vanilla Balsam from Bath & Body Works. So glad that is back, by the way. I'll be needing to pick up a few of those. Although that price point, you guys, have you seen this? The new candles that they're coming out with, the price point is $26.50. What are they smoking at Bath & Body Works? It's ridiculous. It is so ridiculous, you guys. I'm going to try to hold off until the Candle Day sale on December 7th to pick up the Vanilla Balsam, but I don't know. I'm not sure if I want to risk not being able to get some for this year, but I mean, that makes the sale price with their like $10 off $16.50. That's too much, Bath & Body Works. Honestly, these candles are worth the sale price stacked with a coupon, either 10 off of 30 or 20% off. Like if you are paying somewhere between $9 to $11.50, $12 a candle, I feel like that is probably fair. But anything beyond that, I think is just way too much, especially given the performance of these. I just don't know how they justify that, to be perfectly honest. If they really improved the formula and if they were like burned to the bottom good, yes, think about increasing that price point, but I don't know. I'm just not seeing that with what I've purchased this year from Bath & Body Works. But that being said, I do love the Vanilla Balsam. I highly recommend it, by the way. I might do an updated review of that one as well, even though that's not necessarily like a classic, but yeah, anyway, those are my thoughts. I've talked for way too long about this. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Sunday. I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye. Oh, by the way, if you want to know where this is from, I'll link that down below, but please know that mine is spray painted. I didn't like the silver tone, so I used a champagne gold spray paint, but I'll link the pedestal down below. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.